Hey, welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that's kind of hard to put your finger on. It's this quiet struggle that so many adults feel. You just know something's off, but you have absolutely no idea why.
So maybe this question hits home for you. I don't have any obvious childhood scars, so why does being an adult feel so hard, right? You look back, and everything seems okay on paper. No big, terrible thing happened. Your family was fine. But still, there's this heaviness you just can't seem to shake.
Yeah, it's this nagging feeling, isn't it? An emptiness. Or maybe you just feel disconnected from everything and everyone. You could be in a room full of people who love you, but you still feel like you're on the outside looking in. And the most confusing part? There's no clear reason for it. No wound you can point to and say, that's what's wrong with me.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. The clues aren't in some big, single event from your past. They're actually hidden in these really powerful and kind of contradictory patterns in your life right now. Let's start with the first one.
Okay, first up, you're probably amazing at reading other people, right? You can walk into a room and instantly feel the vibe. You know when a friend is upset before they even say a word. But when it comes to your feelings, it's like Fort Knox. You're so careful, so guarded. It's like you've learned that you have to protect your own heart at all costs.
And then there's this one, the paradox of being the rock for everyone else. You are that person, the one who's super capable, super independent, the one everyone turns to when things go wrong. But asking for help yourself? Oh, no way! That feels, well, it feels like failing, doesn't it? You'd rather drown in work than ask for a life raft.
This one's a little more subtle, but man, is it powerful. Think about it. When do you feel the most loved or secure? Is it when you're being useful, when you're solving a problem, giving advice, or just doing something for someone? And deep down, that creates this little hum of anxiety, this fear. If I stop being so useful, will they still want me around? Am I replaceable?
So, you've got this picture, right? Super empathetic but totally guarded. Incredibly independent but can't ask for help. Feeling like your worth is tied to what you do for others. What's the common thread here? What connects all these dots?
Well, the answer, it's not something you'd find in a photo album. It goes way back. Psychologists call it the experience of being the ignored child. And the key thing is, it leaves no visible scars.
And this is so important to get. Emotional neglect isn't about the bad things that happened. It's about what didn't happen. Your parents probably gave you food, a roof over your head, all the basics. But when you were a kid and you were upset or scared or even just really excited, did anyone notice? Did they lean in and say, "Tell me about it"? Or were your feelings just kind of ignored? Because when that happens over and over, it fundamentally changes how you see the world and yourself.
I love this quote because it just says it all perfectly. Some children are not mistreated. They are not openly harmed. They are simply overlooked. That's it, right there. You weren't hurt, you were just invisible. Your entire emotional world was happening, but nobody was watching. And for a kid, that's a really powerful message.
And so, you learn this lesson, not in a classroom, but deep in your bones. It becomes the background program running your life. My feelings are unimportant, or my feelings are a burden, or maybe just, it's safer to keep it all inside. This becomes your default setting. Okay, but here's the pivot. This is the part that changes everything. Because what if all those things, those flaws, aren't flaws at all? What if they were actually your superpowers? What if they were brilliant survival strategies that you, as a child, came up with?
Let's reframe this. You became extremely self-sufficient because you had to. Emotional backup wasn't always available, so you learned to be your own backup. You mastered reading other people's emotions because you needed to know what was going on, to feel safe and stay connected. You learned to ask for very little because asking and not getting it was just too painful. And you figured out that being helpful, being useful, was a pretty good way to make sure you had a place, to feel valued. You see, these aren't character flaws. They're signs of a very clever survivor.
So, where do we go from here? The point of all this isn't to blame anyone or to feel stuck. It's the opposite. This understanding, it's not a cage, it's a key. It's the key to a totally new path forward.
And really, the first step is just this, understanding. Knowing these patterns aren't you being weird or broken. They're what you learned to do to get by. That hyper-independence? That's your resilience shining through. That deep empathy? That's your profound desire for connection. Just acknowledging where this all comes from, that's where the healing starts. It's finally giving yourself that validation you might not have gotten back then.
Which really leaves us with this one final question to think about. For a long, long time, you had to adapt to a world that maybe didn't see you fully, a world that didn't always choose you. And that's okay, that was your reality then. But now you're the one in the driver's seat. So if the world didn't choose you back then, isn't it now your turn to finally choose yourself?